Axie fam is in the house! What up, Axie fam? So there's a lot of changes going on. Blossom, 0 energy. It says if initial, select 1 plant card from your discard pile. Otherwise, select from your draw pile. Put the selected card on top of your draw pile and then banish. So this gives it a little bit more versatility. This is like combining like Zeal and PAPI together on a plant card. So this card is pretty sweet. You still have to have the initial to trigger it, so you're gonna play it before anything. So the if initial is kind of like a drawback when you're deck building. You don't want to have too many cards that have if initial. You don't want to have like triple Rosa, triple Sirius, triple Blossom, because then you have to pick and choose which one you want to trigger. Cucumber Slice. Now, if you watch the video, the full length reaction, like the reveal, we watched it live. We click it above right there. Cucumber Slice is actually only 1 energy. So this is a little misleading. It's 1 energy, heal all for 10, but it has a retain. So every turn it's retained, adds 10 bonus healing per turn it is retained. Cap at 50 heal. So if you retain this for 4 turns, it'd be a max of 50. You don't have to retain it for 5 turns because it already heals for 10. So it can only receive 4 bonuses to 50. But very good. Heal all 50 for 1 energy. Cucumber Slice is pretty solid. Confusion. Shuffle 1 confused into your opponent's draw pile. 1 energy, 60 damage. No changes to confusion here. Confusion is pretty consistent, pretty solid. PAPI. Big changes to PAPI. So PAPI is now 50. It's a 5 HP increase on the healing. It no longer has the draw effect of healing 20 for free, but it does have retain. It also has, whenever this card is drawn, this Axie gains 1 leaf. So it only gives it to itself. It's not like Leafy pots, but it is a good way to have additional ways to get leaf in your Leafy teams. Onto the ears. Sakura, 1 energy, innate. So it starts off in your opening hand. Target an ally for the rest of the battle. Whenever you play a card, this Axie is healed for 7 HP. Cannot stack and then exile it. No change here. Pretty solid card. No complaints. 1 energy, hollow. Summon 1 trunk. This Axie loses 75 HP. No change to trunk, no change to hollow, but there are some interesting things. If you watched our latest video where we talked about the secret class runes and charms, in there are the neutral runes and charms, and they covered Mini Legion. Now, Mini Legion gives your summon Axies plus 8 HP. Very good. So it's not gonna have 75, it's gonna have a little bit more. Because not only that, but they stack. So you could have 3 Mini Legions, so it'd have a bonus 24, so it'd almost have 100 HP. So it wouldn't be in Shellstar range, if Shellstar is even the same, right? I imagine it'll stay. But also, you have Natured Ground. This Axie gets 14 bonus HP to its summons, and then when a summon dies, it has a bonus effect. That's all in this video, in the plant video. Go watch the plant video. Lotus, this was the most exciting change because I've been trying to get Lotus buffed for so long. 1 energy, 50 shields. Target an ally, so that's already a buff in itself. Remove up to 2 curse cards from your deck. Double the effectiveness there. Very, very strong. This would be an excellent target for pre-order tag if you're running Shady Exchange. Shady Exchange, you get 3 voids in your deck. You could put pre-order tag on this. The cost would be 2, but you always go second. Use this to remove 2 of those voids. Yeah. Clever girl. On to the horns. 2 energy required. Strawberry shortcake. Add 2 strawberry to your hand. The only thing that bugged me is during the reveal, they never looked to see if the strawberry was still 60. I don't know if it is, and I don't know if the strawberries still have unstable or not. No change there, I imagine. Cactus, a little bit of a nerf here from 65 to 60 damage. Says, if initial, deal 15 bonus damage and apply taunt to self for 2 turns. So a little bit of a damage tweak because there are a lot of cactus plants out in the world. Watermelon, a little bit of a change to Watermelon. It's getting a little bit of a damage buff. 1 energy, 65 damage now. If the target has sleep, the attack gains 15 bonus damage and deals that in the form of pure damage. So I think it adds 15 to the 65, and that's pure damage ignoring shields. So if your opponent has an Axie that's asleep and they use like a revenge shield or some other stuff just to protect it, Watermelon hitting pure damage. Pretty nice. The back card. Watering Can, 1 energy, 70 shields. Target an ally next turn after the target is attacked. Add 1 pure water to your hand. Tap it. 3 pure water. Okay, so there are some rules that we need to acknowledge were not changed. So this still is whenever any of your Axies were attacked. We asked the dev. So it still works the same. The only thing is there's a limit at 3 pure waters, which we think is kind of low. It's to prevent you from having an instance where you play 2 watering cans and somebody attacks you with like Tri-Feather or Earwing or something. If you look at this video where my opponent rage quits because he plays 2 watering cans and I play 2 AoE attacks and he has to draw 12 pure waters and then can't draw any cards in his hand. So that is brutal. That'd make you quit the game. But 3, I think, is a little low. What I think they should do is there should be a little well, and the well contains your pure water. And you can activate that well on your Axies, and that doesn't count towards your card count. That way, if you do use watering can, it gets better against AoE, right? Because that well would fill up with a bunch of pure waters to use. That way it wouldn't interact with the cards in your hand, it wouldn't jumble up a bunch of stuff, wouldn't prevent you from drawing cards. So that's what I think they should do there. That's a big change, right? You're adding an entire different element where you have a little well. Whenever pure water, boop, you get a little well and it has a water drop in it. And you have that water and you can like use that. I don't know. Mint, 1 energy, 30 shields, shield all allies, apply 1 cleanser to all allies. Pretty solid still. No complaints there. Pumpkin, 70 shield, 1 energy. Target ally next time the target gets attacked, draw 1 card. No change to Pumpkin. Additional back cards, we get some more. We got Turnip, a little bit of a tweak to Turnip, 60 damage now. For the next 4 turns, whenever an opponent summons a unit, deal 25 damage to that summon. I think minions are going to be the rage for a little bit in the lower brackets. Like Boar, minions are going to be a problem against normal like vanilla decks, right? Shiitake, 1 energy, summon 1 mushroom. So it's still 24 HP, but they did change how mushroom works. Now, mushroom at the end of your turn heals all Axies for the HP of the mushroom, and then at the end of the turn, they lose 8 HP. Depends if you have like Mini Legion and Nurtured Ground and stuff like that. But Shiitake, huge buff to Shiitake. Biden's 1 energy, it says retain target ally, cleanse the ally until they don't have any debuffs left. What a weird way to word it. I'm kind of sad that this didn't have like, when you draw this card, heal all Axies for 10 HP or something. I would really love that for Biden's. On to the mouth cards. We have Sirius, 65 damage. It says, if initial, deal 15 bonus damage and apply sleep to self for 2 turns. So instead of disabling itself, it puts itself to sleep, which is kind of a disable. Before, sleep made it to where you couldn't use any cards on the Axie at all, right? You couldn't use attack cards, you couldn't use skill cards, you couldn't use secrets, nothing. But now, if an Axie is asleep, there's 2 ways it can get out of sleep. It can get attacked and that will wake it up, enabling it to use its cards. Or it can play 1 card to wake the Axie up and that card dissolves, right? That card, nothing happens. It doesn't do anything. It just burns in energy and then wakes the Axie up. So a little bit of change, huge nerf to sleep. Herbivore, 60 damage. It says, if the target has sleep, apply sleep for 2 turns. Now, a lot of people were complaining about how Herbivore always gets the shaft, right? I thought it'd be really cool if Herbivore had an effect like if you attack a plant card or you attack a mushroom or a shiitake or a trunk, anything that's made out of a vegetable, it would bring its max HP up like 10 or 15. I thought that would be really sweet. The reason for this, as you'll see when we get to the tail cards, plants are revolved around putting your opponent's Axies to sleep. So this is kind of beneficial. A lot of people's complaint was, if the Axie's asleep and I attack it, then it wakes it up out of sleep. Well, then it puts it back to sleep. But if it had 4 turns of sleep and then I attack it, it wakes it up. So those sleep stacks are gone. Now it only has 2 sleep stacks because the way debuffs work is it tracks the turns and certain things will reduce the turns by a certain amount. But Zigzag, 60 damage, 1 energy. If the target has fragile, deal 20 bonus damage. Otherwise, apply fragile for 4 turns. I think this is a great addition to plants, right? So we'll see less Sirius and more Zigzags. And that's going to bring Zigzags up as like the premier card to have. Getting a fragile on an opponent who's going to be shielding up a lot. Remember, this is not vulnerable. This is fragile. This is going to reduce the shielding the Axie gets by 40%. Well, we'll see if that changes. That might change later, but Silence Whisper. Target ally, poison on Axie will heal 1 HP per sec instead of causing HP loss for 6 turns, and it's heal 50 for 1 HP. No changes really to Silence Whisper. And the tail cards. This is what you're here for. 1 energy, 60 damage. Gain 1 energy fragment. So you get energy fragments as though you played a 2 energy cost whenever you play Carrot, helping you build towards your energy burst. Very, very important. Gain 2 bonus energy fragments if this attack breaks an enemy shield. So I don't know if that's 1 for playing the card, 1 for the trigger, and then 2 more. If so, it's very broken. But now, Carrot's gonna play a little bit differently. It's gonna be oftentimes the first card you play in a turn because you want it to break the shields. This card, I think, might get nerfed before the release. So I wouldn't preemptively go out and buy a bunch of stuff on the marketplace. I think this is gonna get changed before Season 2 launches on the 29th of December. That's right, you heard me, 29th of December. As of right now, knock on wood. Cattail no longer does any damage. Says 1 energy, 60 healing. Target an ally, apply taunt to self for 4 turns. So you get to heal something. These should be worded in 2 different lines of text, but yeah, we get to heal something for 60 and then apply taunt for ourselves. So we can heal the front and taunt to ourselves. Very solid. This is a huge change. Cattail, I had in my original tier list, I had Cattail very high up at the top. Cattail was not good. One of the most wrong I've ever been on a card. Hatsune, 1 energy, 70 shield. Says target an ally. Next turn, apply Fragile for 4 turns to the next enemy that gains any shield. So a few of us are talking, this is a lot like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap card, right? Where like, you've activated my trap, you get Fragile. So this is very interesting. This is a completely different way of playing. Oh, I think he's gonna shield his front. Okay, so the next one that gets a shield, bing, 40% reduced shield, right? I don't know if it's before the shields would go into effect or after. I hope it's before, it'd be sweet. Now these ones right here, here's where we get to some big changes, right? So 1 energy, 20 damage, attack all enemies, apply 2 poison. Yeah, it's the same, it's still part of poison. But Hot Butt, check out the changes to Hot Butt. 1 energy, 25 healing, used to be 25 shielding. So there's a lot less cards that reduce the healing. So I like this for Hot Butt. Target an ally. So now it can target anybody. It says, shuffle to burn into your opponent's discard pile. So same effect there, but now we can target anybody. So if you have a triple Hot Butt team, you're not shielding your backliner for like no reason, right? Very, very good. This has to be one of the biggest changes to a card I've seen. All right, look at this card. Potato Leaf. Target an ally. Limit 1. Next turn, when the target gets attacked, apply sleep to the attacker for 2 turns. Now imagine you're playing something that doesn't have a cleanse on it. You attack with your Risky Fish and you're expecting to use your Oranda, and you can't because, or you can, but it'll fizzle. So you cancel a 2 energy card. Brutal. Say you have all 5 cards on 1 Axie because it's the 1v1. They attack and they're thinking this is the new Terminator card, right? If you think about the old Terminator in V2, it would cancel a card, and then next turn it would stun them, and then put an effect Snail Shell that would end up stunning them again. So they're canceling a lot of cards, messing with your opponent's energy efficacy, right? This is the new Terminator. Terminators are back with a vengeance, maybe. But yeah, so attack 1, boom, and then suddenly Axie's asleep. Like, oh no, oh no, it's so good. All right, here's some other big changes. Bamboo Shoot is now Bamboo Spear. 1 energy, 60 damage. This actually gains 1 leaf. And then you gain 1 bonus leaf per other spear card in your deck. It's not a big deal because like those are all on the same body part. So you're only gonna have 3, right? So the maximum you're gonna get is 1 leaf, then a bonus leaf per, so you can get like 3 or 4 leaf. That's really good. This, I was in the marketplace trying to find pure plants with Bamboo Spear and Leafy and Carrot Hammer, and they were getting bought out from underneath me, right? Beach, big change to Beach. 2 energy, 125 damage, but also says remove all secrets from the target. So this has an Arco built into it, an Arco effect, but it's the most powerful. Because if your opponent has like Jar Barrage, they have Snake Jar, they have Hermit, they have Skelly Spoon, they have Indian Star, boop, all gone. Pretty good. Rosebud, 1 energy, 60 healing, target an ally, and apply 1 cleanser. No change to Rosebud, no complaints there. All right, here are the last 3 cards that have been leaked. We have Leafy, 1 energy, 20 damage, consume up to 3 leaf, randomly deal 3 hits, deal 10 bonus damage for each leaf consumed. So I'm so happy that Leafy didn't get changed because I wanted to play Leafy so bad. And now we have some extra effects, but we don't have Leafy Pot anymore. So now you need Axies that can give you leaves like Clover or Bamboo Shoot or Poppy. So a Poppy, Bamboo Shoot, Leafy plant, very, very solid, right? Clover, 1 energy, summon a Clover. Leafy on our guys. And now Rosa, big change to Rosa, 1 energy, 40 damage, says return. Now return is a new mechanic. It goes on top of your deck. It's like retain, but it goes on top, so you have to keep redrawing it, right? So it's not that great. It's a less powerful version of retain. It really makes you realize how strong retain is. It says if initial, apply sleep for 4 turns, then banish. So sleep right there, sleep, and then you have like herbivore. And plants are putting people to sleep. What do you think? What's the most exciting leak so far? Is it the changes to Bamboo Shoot? Potato Leaf. Ugh. Leave the comments down below if you're afraid of Terminators being a thing again. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Terminators are back again. Guess who's back? Guess who's back?